Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be looking at the Benchmade Triage. This knife is primarily a rescue tool. So starting off, you can see we got a thumb stud right there, and that is for seatbelt, rope cutter, anything like that. It's also got a carbide tip glass breaker, and if we open it up, ignoring the use it's seen, you can see that the tip is flat here, and no, it's not broken. It's designed that way so that in an emergency situation you could use it as a pry bar to pry open a car door or any other kind of obstruction, and not worry about the tip snapping off. So every single time I open this knife, people are like, oh, it's broken, and I'm like, no, that's just how it's made. This particular one is first edition 133 of 1,000 N60 blade. No idea what that is. I'm not familiar with it. We got nice G10 scales. I love these scales a lot. They're very, the way they're textured, I really like it. And ergonomic as well, with this little, I don't know what to call it, just kind of this little groove right here that's milled in on both sides of the handle. It makes for easy deployment, but also it's a nice place for your pointer finger to rest when you're gripping the knife. We got a little bit of jimping back here, which is probably where you would hold the knife most of the time. Sadly, there is no jimping up top here on the spine of the blade, which is a little disappointing, but not a big deal. Other jimping here in the finger choil, also have some at the bottom for your pinky or just the base of your hand, as well as some along the spine of the knife. Yeah, this guy has he's got some good chips in him. Really hasn't seen that much use. Honestly, this is from I let somebody sharpen it and they shouldn't have sharpened it. So yeah, mistakes of my youth, but that's okay. Still in good condition. I really like this knife. It lives in my car exclusively, just because if I ever needed a tool in an accident or something like that, this would be the perfect tool to use. You can see it does have liners which are painted, which is kind of cool. You don't see a lot of painted liners on knives. And if we see if we can get it more, we can get a shot from this side. You can see that the liner is milled out just for the seatbelt cutter to fit into, which is very nice. So overall length is 8.2 inches, and now that since I'm back home, I can pull out some other guys per size comparison. We can look at the Spyderco Delica 4, as well as the Microtech Ultratech, which probably would be better next to size comparison. They're about the same size without the glass breaker. Even with the glass breaker, they're pretty close. We've also got the Benchmade Mini Reptilian. Might be more familiar to most people. So it's a again, the 8-inch range for me is like the perfect range. So blade length is 3.5 inches. It's got the blunt tip, flat grind. It's painted. It does have an interesting, I wouldn't call this a swedge, because it's only, well, maybe it is. It's only on one side. It's kind of weird because the blade is like, actually, I guess this could be if you wanted to sharpen the top, because if you look and see, on this side we have the blade, the cutting edge, and then we have the flat up here. But if we flip it over, let me do this, it's basically the reverse. You have a flat up here with a grinded side down here, just with the thumb stud and the base of the spine in the way. So you could probably sharpen this, because this guy only has a one edge sharpen. So Interesting. Never noticed that before, but now there you go. Learned something new. Let's see. We got 4.7 inches on the handle length, and the thickness is just over half an inch. So it's a very nice knife. It's got a little heft to it, but it really not anything special. Like I said, great texturing. It's got this deep carry clip on it. It's a big clip too. It takes up half the knife on the backside at least. Good thickness. Love the seatbelt cutter. Glass breaker. Great rescue tool. The weight is 5.1 ounces, so a little on the heavy side, but not too bad. I did carry this guy when I was in Scouts just for camping and all that, and that's why, well, it's got serrations also, just because we, as you could tell by probably all of the knives I just pulled out, we do enjoy our serrations on knives. But I think this came out probably 3 or 4 years ago. I got it as a Christmas gift. And I don't remember if we had seen one in a store or how we learned about it, given that this is the first production. So we did, I think we got it from Blade HQ. I'm almost positive we got it from Blade HQ. As with a lot of our knives, but you can see it's got a lanyard hole, which goes through both sides, doesn't interfere with the seatbelt cutter or anything like that. Seatbelt cutter has a nice detent too. It's satisfying to open and close. But I really enjoy this knife. This knife is my girlfriend's favorite of all of them, and thus it was requested to be the next one reviewed. So I obliged. And here you go. This has been the Benchmade Triage.